For 13 weeks, 20 middle school students from St. Petersburg studied civil rights. For 5 days in April, they felt it, watching the words and pictures come to life.
I wanted to teach the kids about where our country has come from and give them an understanding of the sacrifices, the struggles that a lot of our forefathers made. Put it in a perspective of today and show them, that there's still a long way to go and how can we, be part of the group that's going to help this country move on to bigger and better things.
But to ensure a better future, one must learn from the past. The first stop for this traveling classroom, the birthplace of the civil rights movement, Montgomery, Alabama, and the Civil Rights Memorial.
A lot of times I think we take for granted, some of the freedoms and the liberties, that we have.
So you're going over all this stuff as the horses are loading, the next thing you know, they yell, "Last horse is in," and blam, you're off and running.
From no to go, just in one jump.
You're riding a horse that weighs from 900 to 1,200 pounds, and the spirit of the horse and the power of the horse, going from 0 to 40 miles an hour in a split second.
After the initial explosive surge of horsepower, the horse settles into stride, and the rider begins to communicate.
Some horses are so responsive. They simply move to body movements. I mean, you lean forward on one, balance and kind of wherever you situate your body in the saddle, they respond to it.
On the backstretch, the riders in front are trying to ration their speed. The ones behind know they need to keep the leaders in sight.
As you're moving on down the backside, there's a lot of dirt. If it's on the main track, there's a lot of dirt coming back in your face, and you have to think about pulling goggles down and hopefully those butts that you're looking at in front of you are getting bigger and bigger and bigger instead of smaller and smaller and smaller.
Everybody in the whole field, you can hear somebody talking that's 8 lengths behind you, but you can't hear what's going on in the grandstand. So it's kind of its own little world out there.
He's outside, you've been a length back. Yeah. Shit, man, this is too soon for me.
Into the far turn, the rider measures the field, looks for an opening, and makes his move. It's often a calculated risk with no margin for error.
And if you don't get there, when the hole closes back up, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to clip hills and you're going to fall.
Though danger lurks, accidents are rare. And now as they roll for home, it's time to ask for more.
A lot of horses are very generous, and they'll just respond from just a chirp, clucking and yelling and stuff like that.
And if sweet talking isn't enough,
you draw the persuader, you crack them with the whip, and you ask for a little more speed.
the horses are now exhausted, but somehow the rider has to hold it all together.
As they become weaker, it's my time to get stronger, and I'll pick the reins up in the horse's mouth and just keep them gathered up and try and give them a confidence that I'm not tired.
Because now the rider can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel.
If you get to the point where you make it to the lead anytime from the head of the lane home, you're basically saying, hurry up, wire, let this be over.
It's just instinct of knowing where the finish line is. You're not really looking for it with your eyes. You're sensing it more than looking for it.
You know, you taste victory. There's nothing like that feeling. You know you're going to win.
It's like any job. It gets old, and we have our peaks and valleys, but all in all, I wouldn't trade my job for anything in the world.